ticks remaining on this clock. Third quarter. And 10-7. Portage Northern on top. Official timeout. The clock down now to 6. I'm looking around and an equipment stop. Yes, it looks like Mark Brewers is over on the far sideline getting a little equipment work done. Has the helmet off, and the official standing over there with him. You can see the wet hair right there on some of the officials. I mean, the cheerleaders. Big difference between officials and cheerleaders. As the rain continues to fall. Second down 9. Clock is moving again, and we'll see if they get the snap off in time. No, they don't. Let's make sure. The official started out with the flag, but he was just waving off the third quarter. 3 quarters under our belt here on Friday Night Sports. 10-7. Northern on top.
So, not that play. Curtis Brown picked up Matt Malone and threw him to the ground for no gain.
We talked about key series for Northern several times. This is perhaps a key series for the Portage Central defense. They want to stop Northern with no points on the board if they can. At the very worst, 3.
Well, you know, we talked about no passing, or passing not being a strong point of either team. And they did surprise us by throwing the ball a lot, but not that successfully.
Well, we'll see right here. Third down. Long 8. And a flag flies before Keller gets to the line of scrimmage, and it's delay a game. Too much time. Instead of 3rd and 8, it'll be 3rd and 13. We are just underway, 4th quarter. We hope Sunday at noon you'll join us for This Week in Broncos Sports. Robin Hook, who's here doing this ball game tonight for WKMI, is the host of This Week in Broncos Sports. You'll have Al Moldy, the Western head coach, with highlights and commentary on Northern Illinois and WMU. Also, women's cross country and soccer highlights. Sunday at noon on This Week in Broncos Sports. 3rd and 14. Keller back to throw. Launches it for the end zone. Intercepted. Intercepted down on the 1-yard line by Stacy Young. And Central thwarts Northern. It's Buller, I'm sorry, number 87, not number 81. You and I both pointed to 81 on our rosters here. It's Randy Buller on the interception.
Well, turnovers are never good, but if you're going to get a turnover, here's one you don't mind, and I'll tell you why in a second. We'll see the pass. Great play by Buller, but watch where he comes down. On the 1-yard line, which is as good as a punt. And with 3rd down and about 15 on that pass, that's better than a punt.
That would take a miracle punt to stop right there. It'll be 1st and 10 for Portage Central. And if they want 6 points, they're going to have to drive 99 yards. Quarterback is the sophomore, Dan Knight. No room for mistakes down here. And there's a mistake. Loose football. Safety. Central recovers, but it's a safety. Dan Knight recovered the football himself. Northern smothers in 2 points and a safety.
And Central's lucky, too, because Knight was the only one near the football for Central in the end zone. There was 3 or 4 of the Husky defenders going for the loose ball. Knight fell on it. Of course, it's 2 points for Northern. More importantly, Northern gets the ball, and Central will have the free kick from their own 20-yard line.
Well, that turnover really worked out well.
Now we talk about the turnover down at the 1-yard line. Their backs to the wall. They've got to march 99 yards. First play, safety.
So the two clubs exchange turnovers here, but on the scoreboard, the points all go to Northern. 12-7 they lead following the safety, and they will receive the football. A free kick for Central from their own 20-yard line. Last weekend, Bill Brandell and I were up in Grand Rapids for Friday Night Sports, and we saw 3 safeties in that game. We saw 2 safeties in the same game the year before. The safety here tonight, I think only the 7th or 8th we have ever seen, and all but one has come in just 3 ball games.
Of course, the significance of the T2, especially with Albertson, another field goal puts Northern 8 points ahead.
Free kick is a punt. And I think that's Malone fielding it at his own 45. And he reaches Portage Central's 45. And it'll be 1st and 10. Great field position for Portage Northern. They lead 12-7, but still a ton of time. 10:30 still to play in this ball game, and not even a touchdown separates these two teams. We talked about Northern controlling this football game, but I tell you, Portage Central only 5 points down.
Well, you know what Coach Joe Wood would like to do right now, run 4 or 5 minutes off the clock, and if he can't get a touchdown, at least get into position for an easy field goal. That'll give him an 8-point lead and leave only 5 or 6 minutes on the clock. Let's see what happens.
Brent Keller leads them out. Malone has the running room, slips down. Gains about 3-4 yards. Goes down in the arms of number 62, Darren Canerva, and Randy Buller there as well. Buller's played a good football game.
Buller's played a real good football game for Central, one of the bright spots on the Central defense. And again, you see the field come into play here. There goes Joe Wood, second strategy here. Of course, the way the Northern offensive line is controlling the line of scrimmage, you've got to be impressed. The holes are there, and his running backs, both Kronk and Lalone, are making some good yardage.
Give Malone 5 on the last carry. It'll be 2nd down and 5 now facing Northern. And Brent Keller taking a long look at the defense. A lot of people stacked up at the line of scrimmage for Central. Quick pitch to Malone, and he slips down again. Trying to make a cut. You and I walked out there on this field, and you really do think about an inch, and our feet are still a bit wet from that walk out there that must have been 2.5 hours ago.
And the worst part of the field between the 30-yard line, where most of the game has taken place, and you can actually see it from up here. Not a lot of grass. You can see the mud. You can see where some of the turf has been dug up. Once they get beyond the 30-yard line, if they do, the field gets much firmer. The footing is a lot better.
3rd down short. Facing Northern. Malone, and he's hit immediately. I see Doug Roberts. I see number 62, Canerva. I see Nick Roush.
I think Nick Roush was the first one to grab Malone, and of course he had some help. Big defensive play for Central. Here's number 1.
Down, and Albertson will try a long one. Mark it at the 38. Add 7. 45. It'll be a 55-yard attempt. And that would be...
Well, the state record is 58 yards, I believe.
The Kalamazoo record 54.
54, which Albertson holds.
Northern calls a timeout. I believe they hadn't gotten out there and set up quickly enough, so Northern's going to talk things over.
Well, you know, Wood wanted to try for the field goal, but he really only took about a minute and a half off the clock. Would have liked to have gotten at least 1 first down.
12-7. Northern on top. We'll be back in a moment.
Back. Obvious passing situation. Great toss. Right into number 40, Terry Martin.
It'll be 1st and 10. Portage Central football now at their own 44.
And you know the one thing that Northern does not want to do is change their defensive scheme. They've been very effective all night long.
Right back to throw again. Protection finally breaks down and he's sacked. Number 70, we've called that number a few times tonight as well. Mark Riccio.
Big number 70, Mark Riccio, going 6'1", almost 240 pounds. He's a senior, plays on the offensive line and the defensive line. He's had a lot of pressure on tonight. Of course, picks up the sack.
Riccio is another of those players who may be big-time college material. Good size, good shoot. 3-3 grade point average. Back to throw is nice. Little screen over there completed. Somebody just stuck the receiver. Looks like number 64 out there, Doug Heath, made the big hit. Well, that stuff's contagious out there, isn't it? It's going to be 3rd down 17 facing Portage Central. We'll see this again. Incomplete pass as Heath just leveled the back receiving the football.
And you know this is the kind of situations that defenses love. They can sit back, the pressure's on the offense, a lot of yardage for first down, and they can really make those hits. Wait for the ball to be thrown, and those timing hits to hit the receiver just as the ball gets there. Aside from the fact that you've got a pumped up Northern defense right now.
Third down, 17. Back to throw is Knight. Screen play. Well, we got a loose football in that pile. A lot of folks diving in there.
Looks like the ground caused the ball to come loose. It was Chris Norman with the reception on the screen pass.
Now Williams recovers it. The fullback. Football will be marked at the 46-yard line, where it's going to be 4th down and 9. And I think Portage Central is going to have to go for it now with 1:25 and counting. And Northern can wrap this ball game up right here. Knight back to throw. Good protection. Takes one. Over the middle. Incomplete. No flags are down. And Northern begins the celebration. Alderman was out there looking for the reception, went through his hands, and you see the Northern players starting to celebrate. 1:11 still shows on the clock.
There you see the Northern fans. Nobody has left the field tonight. The mud, the rain, even the cool temperatures, nobody's left waiting for that big 4th down play.
Ball will go over on down. It'll be 1st and 10 for the home-standing Huskies of Northern. Boy, what a loop this will throw the Big 8 Conference race into.
Well, this is a game that Central, who has been projected to finish second, this is a game they really expected to win. That's a tough competition. St. Joe's, of course, probably favored to win the conference, and Central felt they had to win this game.
Malone will get the carry. Forward for a couple, 2 or 3 yards immediately. The timeout call.
That's got to put Malone over 150 yards rushing for sure.
What I'm forgetting, Portage Central has all 3 of their timeouts left. If that's correct, they may see the football one more time unless Northern can manage a 1st down. Opening staff out on the field talking with their squads. That's one of the rule changes here in Michigan a few years ago I really like. Timeout. They allow the coaching staff out on the field to talk with the players. Good idea.
Hey, let's face it, high school football, as much as it is entertainment, is also a learning process. And the best way to learn is to give as much instruction as possible. You don't and can't necessarily do that from the sidelines. Why have the whole team come over? Let your coaching staff go out and instruct your team. Great rule change. You see the players on the northern side of the bench moving it up here with just about a minute left in this football game. 1:03. Northern in possession of the ball and in possession of the game.
1:03. All that remains. 2nd down, 7.
You can hear the noise from the northern side of the field.
Well, they're having fun right now. They didn't know till the very end, though. I'm not sure we know yet. Malone again. Line of scrimmage, drives forward for a few. Aaron Canerva on the stop. And again, the timeout. Called by Portage Central. 58 seconds left. Well, if the Mustangs have one more, they may well get the football again.
A big 3rd down play. More importantly for Central, they are in field goal range, or at least field goal attempt range for Albertson. And he may choose to do that rather than punt the ball if it comes to a 4th down. Of course, a missed field goal, they'll get the ball on the 20-yard line. It's probably a higher likelihood of him mishandling the ball on a punt than there is on a field goal.
Well, that's a picture that tells you 1,000 words. Not much life over there on the Portage Central bench.
Picture of dejection.
You see Joe Wood out there talking with his club, saying no mistakes. Let's do things just like we do in practice.
And you know, we haven't talked about it much. This will make Northern 2-0 in the Big East. Nobody expected them to be 2-0 in the conference at this point of the season.
Roadside race, topsy-turvy. Here we go. 3rd down, 3. Central, should they hold, could get the football one more time. Keller to Malone. Depends on the mark. He won't have it. It'll be 4th down and 1.
Looks like he's about a yard short, just outside the 35-yard line. And here,
the official calls a timeout. Change the football. And now starts it up again with 45 seconds left. 4th down. And Northern's going to have to snap it one more time.
Well, I guess Central is out of timeout because Northern's going to let the clock run down to, just about 20 seconds, 15 seconds.
Albertson's not on the field, so Northern's going to try for the 1st down here. If they fail, they won't leave Central with much time at all to work with. Keller, the quarterback. Flag and delay of game. Now it'll be 4th and 6. I might have snapped it a little quicker and tried for the 1st down instead of accepting the 5-yard penalty.
Well, you know, the clock is going to stop on the change of possession here. And Northern may be considering doing something a little bit crazy, running around with the football, trying to waste some time as opposed to running it straight up the middle where the clock's going to stop almost immediately.
Might be. Albertson wanted to go out on the field. We got about 3-4 yards out on the field, watching Coach Joe Wood all the way, and Joe Wood shook his head and said, no, you're not going out there.
There is some confusion on the Northern sidelines here. Keller turning over to Coach Joe Wood, not really sure what he wants done.
He might be calling a timeout.
Yeah, they can't run any more time off the clock, but they can certainly get another delay of game penalty.
They are going to call a timeout. Well, that'll give us a second. I suppose we can go ahead and make the decision on our Old Kent MVPs, I think, at this stage for the timeout. 17 seconds left to play. 12-7. Northern on top, and Randy Buller for Portage Central, and the easy choice, Matt Lalone for Northern.
Yeah, I don't think any question about Matt Lalone for Northern. Randy Buller played an excellent game for Central. Like you mentioned, he had the interception, he had the touchdown catch, he had a couple of big tackles, he played himself a good football game.
What do we have Lalone at now? 151.
Got him up to about 163 yards unofficially.
163 yards and 13 tackles, I think, last time I saw it. Brilliant ball game for Matt Lalone. Randy Buller, the interception, and the touchdown catch for Portage Central, two very deserving Old Kent MVPs. Now Albertson's out on the field, standing with Coach Joe Wood. I don't know if he's still lobbying or if he gets to kick it. He's kind of standing behind him, raising his hand. He's out of the huddle a little bit. He wants to kick it, that's for sure. I don't think he's gonna.
No, he's coming to the sidelines, and I'm sure that one of the discussions they're making, should they let Albertson punt the ball down the field to kill some time from the clock, or should they run a play into the line, try to eat up 3 or 4 seconds, and then give Central the ball 60 yards from the goal line with about 14 seconds.
There's Karen Weller off in the end zone camera, standing up in the wind and the rain, and here we go. 4th down, 6. They're going to run around a little bit. Brent Keller is just going to try and eat up as much time as he can, and it was successful. He ate up 7 seconds. There are 10 kicks remaining. Portage Central will try and take the ball 58 yards in 10 seconds.
You know, for a second, I thought almost that he was going to throw the ball. You'd come back to a famous pro game happened back, I think it was 1978, when the New York Football Giants tried a handoff on 4th down instead of running the clock out, dropped the ball and throw it up to recovery. I thought he was going to throw a pass down. Glad he didn't.
And nice sideline pattern out of bounds and stops the clock with 5 seconds left. So Portage Central will have one Hail Mary opportunity. Northern 12, Central 7. And one play away from celebration and a big upset for the Huskies.
And you're going to see the whole Northern coaching staff yelling to the team, back up, back up.
Play center field.
That's right. All they've got to do is not commit a penalty, let him catch a pass, but play some center field. Don't let the receivers get behind him.
Jay Martin is a full 30 yards off the line of scrimmage. Back to throw is nice. Loose it out there, complete. The football is loose. I don't know if it was complete or incomplete. Doesn't matter. Northern celebrates. 12-7 winners. Final score on Friday Night Football, ending a 5-year drought. Portage Northern 12, Central 7.